Our next speaker is a mother. She is a financial administrator and systemic constellations facilitator. I love saying that for some reason. Miss Monika van Wittersheim. Did I get that name right? Miss Monika van Wittersheim. That's the right way to pronounce a name, isn't it? You've got to pronounce it correctly for it to mean something. I'm not done yet. I'd like to take my time and introduce her. Do you have a moment for me? Lovely. Ms. Monika trades under SWOCOPS, the Swakopmund Bureau Services and Systemic Constellations. In the Toastmasters organization, she holds office as Area Director. Now that is big. Okay. She is currently busy with a high-performance leadership and has started 2 pathways. I'm on the first one, and I know it's a lot of work. Who's crazy enough to do 2? That's great. And because she's a dual member, she can do 1 pathway with Swakopmund Club and another pathway with Walfish Bay. That's just taking advantage of all opportunities given to you, isn't it? Beautiful. Her motto for this year is by Ralph Smedley, and I need to read this to you. The first time I looked at it this evening, I thought to myself, a moment of reflection. Here we are with tremendous opportunity before us. I challenge you to get work to bring us up to a higher level of service. Let us share with others the benefits we have gained for ourselves. She regards her life as being her own masterpiece and loves life, all its facets. Ms. Monika van Wittersheim.
This speech will be a tribute to one of my colleagues, of whom I learned that she had passed away yesterday night, and I only learned that after I had rehearsed my speech. Can everybody see? Who of you once in his or her lifetime felt that they have been involuntarily tapped out of their equilibrium? In family, in your social environment, at the workplace, being bullied. Ladies and gentlemen, there is hope for us. Hope through systemic constellations. I've been trained by Bert Hellinger, and he, to me, revealed a new phase of life, a new outlook of life. He was a missionary in Zululand for more than 20 years in times of apartheid, and I presume, or I know, that he got accustomed with many African beliefs. After the 20 years, he went back to Germany and he underwent transactional analysis, and through his studies he discovered certain universal laws we all underlie, each and every one of us. I will tonight tap into 3 universal laws. The one and the foremost one is the law of inclusion. And there I think he tapped in African custom, because to us Europeans, we have father and mother and children, and that is our family. But in African tradition, the whole clan is the family. Everybody belongs to a system. If we exclude somebody, we push him out and we make the system incomplete. We find that in business as well. If a difficult customer comes to us and we want to actually take him out of business, we take away the resources we have. We should actually then start communicating with that customer in order to bring him back into our system. And in society as well, we tend to put the criminals into, what do you call it?
Isolation.
A prison. We take them away out of society. What if we think about how did the people become criminals and how can we make them better people? Maybe that is a thing to think about, a thought to think about. A second law is the law of succession. In the family, it is the parents who were before the children. And the parents form their own system, and then come the children. This is very important in the third in a third universal law, and the third universal law is the law of exchange. On the parent platform, the exchange form is more flowing, giving and taking, whereas from the parents' perspective to their children, the parents give and the river flows to the generations that come. You find that in business as well. The founder of the business, he is on the parent level. And all the employees, they come after the founder. And they will always be a smaller, they have a smaller perspective than the one who has founded his business. And you find it in societies as well. Great thinkers, great leaders, they put their effort into a construct, and if it works well, it can work more than 100 years, centuries, even longer. We see it in democracy, we see it in Toastmasters, we see it in other forms of societies. Friction arises when these levels are not being recognized correctly, when people don't fill their place in the space which belongs to them. That is very important, and that is where systemic constellations comes in. A systemic constellation facilitator will look into a situation and will help the client to find his or her place where she or he can feel safe in order to move on in life. Yes, there's hope. Because we are determined by these universal laws, and by looking at these universal laws, we have the key to change our life and become the one who taps the pendulum and who owns his or her own life.
Wow, every time I listen to Ms. Monika von Wittersheim, I realize that most of what she says really does appeal to the intellect, does it not? And takes you through such a cognitive process that the introspections begin when you're about to end your speech. So thank you very much. Let's give her another round.